Yo. What's going on, man? Today is June the 16th, 2024. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn NBA Show. I got a couple of the band together, man. It's like
Yeah.
old Twitter space type vibes, man. But I got the guys, they pulled up on me. I sent the invite and they said they would love to be on the show today. So I'm gonna just let them introduce themselves. Dream's been on the show for a couple weeks in a row now, rocking with me on Sundays. And Flo's been having some just some scheduling difficulties, but he definitely wanted to join as well. And I got him here today, man. So Dream, I'll let you go first just because I see you first. Just tell the people who you are, where they can find your work, and you can pass it on the flow.
Yeah, man. What's the vibes? Top of the morning. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Dream. Follow me on Twitter, Mr. Dreamy1, the number 1. And you can sub to my YouTube channel, Blunt Money Bets. And that's really it, man. What's up?
Morning, everybody. My name is Stefan. Call me Flo. You can find me on Twitter at Stefan Florival, Florival, and on YouTube at Sports with Flo, FLO, Sports with Flo. Yeah, you already know what time it is. It's WNBA. We got 3 games, and 2 of them tip at the same time because it's the WNBA. So I'm excited.
Yeah, right there with you guys. I see a lot of Happy Father's Day. Chris is in the chat. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. What up to my guy Joe the Gambler? Sincerely says he likes Fever. Sparks plus the 5 in Seattle. What up to my guy Justin? Always tapping in. Jay Aries in here as well. Happy Father's Day. Rob in here. It's a lot. The usual suspects are in here, man. I appreciate you guys for joining. Pat says, "Come on, Chris. Just be patient, man. You can't rush greatness, bro. I'm trying to be great today. So we're gonna jump into it, man. We're gonna jump into it for today. We got like the guy said, we got 3 games for today. I'm gonna try to go through the comments as we get along. Real quick, so everything that I talked about yesterday, if you guys had a chance to catch the live stream, was a winner. The Connecticut Sun covered the 6.5 to 7. The team total went over the 82.5. The Liberty team total went over, which was the official play that I gave out, sent to the members. Liberty plus the 2.5 was another winner. Liberty first quarter team total over. Shout out to my guy Hemi in the chat. Over 21.5 was another winner. So yeah, if you had a chance to tune in yesterday, man, with straight bangers being given out on the show, and hopefully we can replicate that and do it again today. All the numbers on the right hand side are updated, and like I said, we got 3 games for today. So first game up, we got the Chicago Sky and the Indiana Fever. This line is, I see some 2.5s popping up on some books. We have a Sky team. You guys can see the situational stuff there. Coming off 1 day's rest, 2 straight losses. 3 straight losses, and this is their second road game. The Sky actually started the season off pretty well, but they've kind of come back down to earth. 4-8 straight up, 5-7 against the number, 3-3 on the road straight up, 3-2-1 against the number. And a lot of it has been their offense. They really struggle to score the basketball consistently. Elizabeth Williams is not in this game, of course. We know that. And you can see that their defense has been middle of the pack, and the net rating is just, they're kind of like one of those teams that can win a game or lose a game, but they're coming off, 2 pretty bad losses, especially losing to the Mystics after you'd already beat the Mystics. On the opposite side, we got a Fever team that's actually been hooping. Like they went out there, smoked the Dream, took my money. I had the Dream first half in that game. Coming off, that win as a dog against Atlanta, 2 days rest as well. They're starting to get some more rest. We know that the schedule makers weren't great to them at the beginning of the season. So now 4-10 straight up, 6-8 against the number. They've won 2 of their 6 home games so far. And you can see that their defensive rating still sucks. their net rating still sucks, but they are getting a little bit better, specifically on the offensive end. So I'll kick it to you first, Dream. What if you had to play? I don't know if you got to play on the side, but if you had to play the side, would you be taking the 2 points with the Sky here, thinking that they bounce back, or would you think the Fever kind of keep it rolling? And the reason I also want to say that I was on the Sky about 4 weeks ago when these teams played and they lost by 1 point. We remember Marina maybe missing the free throw that could have sent it to overtime, and that was Cardoso's first game back. So talk to me about how you think this one going, Dream. Then we kick it to Flow.
Honestly, if I had to, which means like somebody told me I had to bet, I would personally take the Fever. I don't have to, so I'm not gonna. But I've been personally fading Chicago for, I don't know, the last 3 to 4 games. I just think their chemistry is off. Angel Reese should not be leading that team in attempts, and that's pretty much where she's at. She shouldn't be lined with the same points prop is Maria Mabry, but that's just where she's at, and that's the indication of their chemistry or lack thereof right now. So, yeah. As far as the side, if I had to, I would play the Fever at home, but I'm looking to hop in live. As far as the total, you spoke to the first game, 71-70. The Fever, they don't play any defense, but all it really takes is one bad quarter for this to go under 166, 167, 168. This is lying like two good teams. Now I know Indy doesn't play D, but Sky tries to. So, if I was looking anywhere, I would look the under. But as far as the official play, I would look Mabry under her PRA. I did play her under PRA 24.5 for half a unit. I've been playing it for a unit, and it's been going under her last 2 or 3 games. I just did a half unit today because it is the Fever. And if there was a team that you wanted to break out of a slump against, it would be the Fever. But again, she's not covering this line due to lack of shooting, it's due to lack of usage. So I would look at Mabry PRA under 24.5, and obviously Angel Reese. You got to look at her rebounds and double. I was able to grab her double at minus 135 on BetMGM, building it out. So yeah, if you can't find a double with a good price, I would just play her over 10.5 rebounds. She had 13 the first time she played them. And Angel Reese has a perching for just making sure she gets just enough stats to get a double or to get 20 points. So she's a really good player, and she does like her numbers. So that's why I would pivot. Angel Reese overs and Maria Mabry unders.
Okay, Angel Reese overs, Maria Mabry under. I see some comments about Angel Reese double her boards double just because like Dream said, she has been taking a high percentage of the shots over there. And I won't go off on a too much of a tirade about Chicago's offense, but I think Dream summarized it for me. Flo, what you think about this game, man? I got a couple questions for you guys to go back around too. But Flo, tell us what you think about the Chicago Sky, the Indiana Fever game.
Yeah, I kind of like the Sky on the money line today. I just think that this is, it's a weird team. It's hard to trust the Sky. I was on with my guy Dream. I want to say on Friday, we were talking about like that Mystics game. And I'm like, man, I'm back in the Sky today. I'm hoping they could just be an adult team. And he said it perfectly. I'm like, they're a bunch of kids. Why would you trust them on a Friday in Washington? And Dream was dead on. It's true. But like the one thing I'll say with them is like, obviously they lost Elizabeth Williams about 3 games ago. She's out for the season. So this really much is a team in transition. Cardoso starting her second game. It feels like there's been like 3 iterations of this team this season. There was the iteration where Mabry was ball dominant. There was the iteration where Angel Reese was kind of like fluctuating as the star. And now this is the kind of the Cardoso era. Whenever I get the chance to fade Christy Sides in a revenge spot, I'm always going to do that because she's a terrible coach and the Fever don't know what they're doing. Are they running the show through Leah Boston? Are they a Caitlin Clark dominant team? They have no clue what the hell they're doing. So I like the Sky in this spot because I think this is a big spot for Camila Cardoso. I took her points because I think that this Fever defense is awful. They're vulnerable down low. You have the matchup with the 2 number 1 overall picks from South Carolina with Cardoso and Aaliyah Boston. And we saw Cardoso. The foul trouble would scare me, but we saw her first taste of WNBA action in 18 minutes going 11-6 against Boston. We've seen that like Boston can get overwhelmed by size, and she's 6'7". So, and you also have Kennedy Carter, who I love, 6th woman of the year leader for my money.
Absolutely.
Villain, that crowd's like, I just love teams that have like dog-like players. That's going to be a hostile environment. They're going to be going at Kennedy Carter. I have Teresa Witherspoon, where I don't know if she's a good coach, but she feels like a good coach. She's only a rookie, and she called out that whole front line, their terrible, dismal performance in the first half against Washington. So, yeah, I'm going to ride the dogs. I'm going to ride with Teresa Witherspoon and Cardoso and Reese and Carter and this awful Fever team. And I'm probably going to get there on the money line, but I did take Cardoso's points. So, noon tip, I like the Sky today. 2 is kind of, I get why Indiana's a favorite, but it's Indiana. I'm always here to fade Indiana whenever I can fade Indiana.
Man. Flo said a lot that I like in this spot as well. So if you look at the recent trends, the Fever have been a pretty good team. They had the really good win against the Atlanta Dream the other day. And that was a game where it kind of felt like they were running their offense the way that we kind of expected them to. I'm pretty sure the guys would agree with this, but just because you have Caitlin Clark, this new shiny toy, you can't just throw Aaliyah Boston on the shelf. Not with how well she was shooting the ball last year from the field and how effective she was. And it felt like they kind of got back to that, running their offense through. Aaliyah Boston, I think she had 27 points and 13 rebounds against the Atlanta Dream. She took my girl Tina Charles and Cheyenne Parker Tyus to school the other day, and I didn't expect that. So I would expect Christy Sykes to go completely away from her in this spot because it worked so well in the last game. And a couple comments I want to touch on real quick. Robert says he said Chicago coach stormed off after the last game during the post conference. I saw this. The message to the team was 40 minutes. It was a 2-word message. I read an article on it. I think it came out like Chicago Tribune or something. 40 minutes is what the team talked about. Chicago has come out very, very flat in the first quarter and in the first half in their last few games. I think if you like Chicago, I think you like them early in this spot, especially with the Fever coming off a big win as a dog. These are two teams that look like kind of going in opposite directions, but I would play on the Sky early in this game. You can get their first quarter plus a half a point, like minus 115 on most books. You can get their first quarter money line at plus 100. So you can get that at even over on Caesars right now. I'd like the Sky to start early. And you mentioned the Flo revenge game as well. We touched on this just a tad bit. If you guys had to go over or under real quick on Angel Reese over 10.5 rebounds, what you guys thinking about that?
Over.
Yeah, always over.
Not even
completely over.
And the offensive rebounds alone.
Yeah, my God.
Yeah, especially against that
Angel Reese in a rivalry game?
Yeah.
Over, okay. And then Watcher says Sky out for blood. They was pissed last game after they lost to the Fever, and I agree with that as well. They owe me some money, so yeah, I like this Sky in this game as well. Not looking to to lay points with the Fever. This team is just 2-4, like I said, straight up at the crib. Don't really like taking them as favorite. And Marquise also mentioned it. He said, if y'all know Spoon, she's not going to lose to a bad team twice. So I do like that they're coming off a loss to the Mystics. I would only be looking towards the Sky in this game. And then I got some offensive numbers for you guys as well. Take a screenshot, zoom in, kind of look at it. But just some charts talking about Chicago Sky's offense versus the Indiana Fever's defense. And then we flip it. We go Fever offense versus Chicago Sky's defense. And you guys do with this information as you want, but I always like to add it just so you guys can kind of see it.
Yeah,
all right, let's get to the next one. Go ahead. My fault.
Yeah,
you got
also a couple notes. I'm a big believer that these players, because the WNBA doesn't get as much recognition, they know when games are at certain points. This game's on CBS. This is a nationally televised game.
Standalone when you got all the WNBA games starting at the same time. I'm right there with you, Flo. Keep going.
Because I'm just like following the bounce. I'm a big fan of following the bouncing ball. Like the coach called out the front court. The Fever allow the most fast break points. They allow the second chance points. They allow the third most points in the paint. If there was ever a game where the Sky were going to show up big, this would be the one. You know me. It's a different group, but me and the Chicago Sky, we don't exactly have a great track record together. So I'll give them a chance today. But yeah, this feels like a Chicago Sky spot.
Yeah, I would agree. I would definitely agree. I'm not laying points with the Fever. Not in this game coming off the win at the Dogs. It could be a flat spot for them for sure.
Hey Chris.
What you got?
Just one more quick thing, because I would be remiss if I didn't give out a blunt money bet for every game.
What you got?
Kennedy Carter, 20 points, plus 530.
Okay. Little Kennedy Carter. You said how many points, Jay?
20
points.
I think she had 21 the last time they played.
What's the odds, Jay? Plus what?
It was plus 530.
That's crazy that you can get her when she takes the most shots on the team to score 20
she had 19 last time they played on 8 of 12 shooting. 16 last game. But last time they played, she had 19. So just worth a little bit of money.
Okay, I like it. I'm gonna be telling Dream on that for sure.
I like
definitely telling Dream on that. Yeah, Kennedy Carter. You can call it a revenge game. We can call it the game after the push, the hip check number 2, whatever you want to call it. I like Kennedy Carter today. Keith says, Happy Father's Day, everyone. Absolutely love Kelsey Mitchell today for points in her threes. Ball Talk says they treating Aaliyah Boston like Woody from Buzz Lightyear. Hey, that's a fact, bro. That is a fact, man. Threw my girl Leah Boston in the box in the closet with the army men. I like it. I like it a lot, man. Robert says, I'm just starting to watch the WNBA this year. Indiana coach Sykes is awful. She doesn't know what she's doing. It's a little bit of that with some bad scheduling spots, but yeah, I would agree with that. Big Coach says he appreciates the show. Says he's up 500 off some plays on my appearance on Cal's show. So I'm glad you've been cashing there. I can't get through all the comments, man. Sunday be crazy, but I definitely appreciate you guys. Justin says he's moving on the Sky first quarter minus 106. I like it. I'm probably gonna be there too. Haven't put a bet in yet, but the members know when I do place it. You guys will be the first one to know, and it'll be early today because my son do got swimming lessons in a couple hours, so I won't be giving out plays at the last second because I won't be having my phone. Let's see. Have you given out any picks to the members yet? I joined last night, so I have not. Just went over that. Nope, have not. But I will give out a couple in a second. I wanted to talk the games out with my guys today. All right, so we finished with this one, fellas. Yeah. Anything else? All right. Yeah. All right. Let's keep it pushing. Next game up. The Seattle Storm. This team has been a money maker. I love the Seattle Storm. They will be in Phoenix today, taking on the Mercury. They are now laying. This number was 2.5 yesterday. This number is moving now. I see it all the way up to 3, some 3.5s out there as well. This is a 3:00 Eastern Standard. It's 3:00 Eastern Standard Time game, along with the Los Angeles Sparks and Atlanta Dream, which we'll touch on in just a second. Total coming down in this one. It opened 164.5 down to 164, and the spread is moving. I see a 4 popping up, but it looks like the consensus is 3 right now. So for the Storm, we got a team that's off 2 days rest, second straight road game for them. Back-to-back wins and covers for this team as well. I mean, they've won 8 of their last 10, covered 8 of their last 10, and 9-4 straight up. 9-4 against the number as well. Outside of the playing against the Lynx, I said this the other day. Outside of playing against the Lynx, this team has looked absolutely amazing. You can see offensively top 5, defensively top 3, number 4 in net rating as well. And then on the Mercury side, the Mercury's looked a little bit better as well. Brittany Griner, I think having her back has been helpful. Rebecca Allen having her back has been helpful as well. They're coming off 2 days rest. Second straight home game. They did lose to the Aces after jumping out to that big lead the other night. I think that was on Thursday. And they've covered every game since Rebecca Allen and Brittany Griner returned. 6-7 on the season so far. Of course, these numbers aren't indicative of them having a full roster. They're 8-5 against the number, and they've looked a lot better at home than they have on the road. 4-2 straight up at home and against the number. But on the road, I mean, you just do the math. It's been a little bit different. Only 2-5 on the road straight up. And it's been the offense. I talked about their offense averaging about 10 more points per game at home than they do on the road. Defensively, they're still 11th rated, but we expect that to improve with Brittany Griner being down there and having Rebecca Allen back. 7th offensively, 9th net rating as well. So I'll go backwards this time. Let's go Flo first. Talk to me about Storm and Mercury, Flo. You think Seattle can come in here and keep it going, or you think the Mercury, coming off that loss against the Aces? I think it was a 4-point loss, 103-99. You think they bounce back today?
Man, this is a great game. This is like the game of the day. It's a showcase spot. Obviously, the Mercury got run out the gym when they were in Seattle a couple of weeks back. They didn't have Griner. They didn't have Rebecca Allen. Of course, you got to talk about Skylar Diggins, the fact that she returns back to Phoenix. After they did her dirty, you knew she had some extra. She's been playing great. Her points as a look that I haven't got there yet on, but I'm thinking about. She had some extra juice the first time they played around. But this Mercury team's a different team with Griner in there and also Rebecca Allen. You got to talk about her because her defense is so good. This is a spot where I tend to lean the Mercury in the under. I just think that this is such a showcase spot for them. The Storm, you have to talk about how great they've been. I want to say overall they've won 8 of their last 9 overall. This is a spot set up for that Storm offense to get going, especially in the fast break, where they tend to be kind of a slower paced team. Mercury are vulnerable on the fast break. So I like Jewel Lloyd's rebounds plus assists at 8.5. That's probably my official on this one. Lead ball handlers and the fact that rebounds to guards, they've been getting absolutely shredded lately. We saw Jackie Young once had 8 rebounds last game, and Jewel Lloyd's went over this number the first time they played as well. So this is a big game. I think the Mercury can win this game. I also think this is a big Brittany Griner spot. How did the Storm handle Griner? Griner's too big, obviously, for Neck, who they put at center. For Ezzy, I don't think has Ezzy has the length, but she doesn't have the mass to hold off on Griner. So do they help off? Does that free the perimeter for Clea Copper to get going? Does Diana Taurasi get a bunch of threes? Another look in this game, which I haven't got there yet, but I probably would, is you have to go on Fliff and I think Hard Rock. There's a direct correlation between Diana Taurasi's assist and Brittany Griner playing well. I want to say she has 2, 7, and 4 assists, and like 3 of the assists in the last game went to Griner. A lot of times with Natasha Cloud, because her assists are dangerously low at 5.5 at Caesars. Really interesting, because we saw Cloud as a player earlier in the season was having 8 assist games, 10 assist games, like it was nothing. But if you look at the last 3 games, her assist percentage is way down, 4th in the pecking order in a usage percentage behind Copper, Griner, even Taurasi at times, which is insane. Like Taurasi has a higher assist percentage in the last 3 games than Natasha Cloud. Weird. So that's why I'm probably going to get there on Taurasi's assist at 2.5. I'll probably do some form of Griner 20 points with Taurasi 4 assists, because the two kind of go hand in hand. When Griner's going off, it's usually Taurasi throwing the ball on the block. But yeah, I really like this game. My leans are the under and for the Mercury to cover at home. They've been a great team at home lately. I think that this is a true like litmus test game. Like the Storm have a tough slate here. I want to say they have the Sun coming up and the Liberty coming up. They've won 8 of 9, some of them against Cream Puffs. And the Mercury, you got to look at the fact that like their defense leaves a lot to be desired as far as the last couple of games is how many points they've given up. So I'm really looking forward to this one.
Yeah, I would agree with that. You said you made a lot of good points, but that Natasha Cloud numbers is something that I had not paid too much attention to. I did fall asleep on that game against the Aces the other day. And you mentioned the tough schedule coming up for Seattle. This team has been, absolutely crushing it. Like I said, when they're not playing against the Minnesota Lynx, where 3 of their 4 losses have come this season. And you mentioned it. You said tough schedule coming up. Is Aces this week? And they finish off the week with the Connecticut Sun. So yeah, no, it does not get easier for the Seattle Storm team. Dream, talk to me about this one. Would you agree with the under in the Mercury here, or you think Seattle can kind of keep it going? What do you think about the matchup between Ezzy and BG today? I'm interested in your thoughts on that.
I think BG got the advantage there. I think it'll be a good matchup. I think they'll try not to send a double. Ezzy's been doing great on defense. She's got like 3 straight games with 3 blocks or more, if I'm not mistaken. So she's been playing well, but BG, you can't guard her. So I don't think they want to leave the shooters for Phoenix open. I think they'll just be content if Brittany Griner going to give us 25, 30. That's what'll happen. But you don't want to get the other shooters, Kalia Copper, Sophie Cunningham, Diana Taurasi. You don't want to just start giving them open threes when they literally not going to do anything until you give them open threes. So I think they just let Griner get busy. As far as side and total, lean Storm. I just think they're the better team right now, but it's only a lean. I would try to hop in live and get if I can get 7 or 8 with any one of these teams live, I'd probably do that. And I personally would lean the over. It is pretty high, but the Storm can obviously put up offense, and the Mercury at home, they're just a scoring team. So especially Diana Taurasi, she tends to play a lot better at home with that home crowd. So I would lean there as far as the total over, but nothing official. A couple things. First, Flo mentioned it. If you can find her, I gave this out 2 days ago. It's not available right now. Try Underdog, but if you can get Natasha Cloud under PRA, we've been playing that the last couple days. She went under it, and they scored 99 points last game. It's just a matter of just what it is. She went under, and they scored like 100 or something the game before that. But either way it goes, Natasha Cloud, she's kind of like a dog without a home, for lack of a better term. Like, she was getting all the usage. She was the lead guard. She had all these scores around her, and she was able to just facilitate. It's not that way anymore. Diana Taurasi has much better chemistry with Brittany Griner because they've been playing together for years. Brittany Griner and Natasha Cloud haven't had time to really connect and know, okay, this is where BG like it. Okay, this is how she want to run her set. If you watch the games, it's all pick and roll with Taurasi and Taurasi. Sometimes it's with Kalia Copper, but it's generally with Taurasi and Brittany Griner. So yeah, Natasha Cloud under her PRA. I got it at 21.5. I'd play it to under 19.5 personally. Also, Flo spoke to this. Jewel Lloyd rebounds and assists are at 8.5 right now. Gotta love that. The Mercury give up the most points, rebounds, and assists to shooting guards this season. Jewel Lloyd went over this last time they played. I think Jewel Lloyd actually had 6 and 6 last time they played. And we just saw what Jackie Young did to this team at the same position. They're just going to target Diana Taurasi. So If you wanted to get there with her PRA, I couldn't talk you off. But her rebounds and assists is a good look as well. And I was gonna say something else, but that's all I could think of right now. So yeah, I will go. Yeah, her rebounds and assists for Jewel Lloyd. As far as the blunt money bet, Jewel Lloyd, 6 assists is plus 510. She had this the last time they played. She can get 6 assists.
Absolutely, she can.
So, yeah, that's that.
Okay, so it's a lot of Storm love coming in on the chat, man. But this is where I'm at with the game right here. Z's Nuts says, I'm having a hard time getting there with the Mercury here, man. Seattle's been playing very good lately. And this is, carbon copy of, a dissection of my notes for this game. What I had is, I talked a little bit about this, but Seattle, they won 2 in a row, 8 of their last 10. The only thing I don't like for Seattle here is the travel spot. They played 8 different games in 8 different gyms leading up to this game. So this would be their 9th game in 9 different gyms. No back-to-backs at home. Either home for one game, travel, home, that type of thing. They have won in their wins though. They're in 9 wins that they have this season. They're 8-1 against the number. The only time that they didn't cover was against the Fever. That was like the 3rd game of the season. And in their wins, they're winning by 13.5 points. So, I mean, if you like the Storm, you just take them on the spread because it's typically not a 1-possession game. We know defense typically travels. I know somebody talked about that as well. But the Mercury, like I said, they're a different team at home, man. They're 4-2 straight up and 4-2 against the number. Now, they did lose to the Aces, and that's what kind of makes me like the Storm in this spot because I feel like if the Aces can come in there and get a win, they didn't cover the number, but they were laying like 7.5, and that game was in Phoenix. The Aces can come in there and get a win. I feel like the Storm can too. You just really need to limit the 3-point shot. So I'd be remiss without mentioning this, and then I'll kick it back to you guys if y'all have anything to wrap up on this one. But these 2 teams did play earlier this season. I think we all failed to mention that. I don't know if you guys, wanted to mention it or not, but that game was a tad bit different. Seattle won that game 180-62. I think we were on Seattle in that spot. They were laying 5. That game was played in Seattle as well. And it was a really, really poor shooting night. This was the game that Nneka got ruled out after she got poked in the eye the day before during practice, and they still ended up smoking them in that game. So no Nneka on one side for Seattle. And then, of course, Brittany Griner wasn't back yet either. And Phoenix just shot. They did what they always do before Brittany Griner came back. They were a, live and die by the 3 type team. They shot in that game. They shot 4 for 23 from the 3-point line. Like I said, only managed 62 points, shot 17% from the 3-point line. And, it was all of them, really. Khalil Copper was the only person she had 3 of the 4 threes that they made. Diana Taurasi finished with 7 points. She was 0 for 6 from the 3-point line. And Seattle, they did what they do, man. It was Ezzy who had a really big game in that one. She had 21 and 9. And then it was, just balanced after that. Skylar Diggins-Smith has looked really, really good. 17 and 4 assists. Jewel Lloyd had 15, 7 rebounds and 6 assists in that game as well. And then they're getting some good play from the bench from Jordan Horston as well. I really want to take Phoenix team total under in this spot. Like I feel like the Storm defense is going to continue to play well, but the Mercury, they still want to get up and down the floor. Like when they played the Aces the other day, this is the last thing I'm gonna mention. When they played the Aces the other day, that game, the total was like 170 something. And the Aces are the fastest paced team in the W right now. The Storm are the second fastest paced team in the W. So that really makes me think Storm team total just to go over, thinking that they could struggle on defense and to stay away from the Mercury team total under. So this is a really difficult game for me. I have been making a lot of money. I know it seems super easy to take the Storm. I don't think it's going to be that easy today, man. I could definitely see Phoenix keeping this game close, being a letdown spot. Eventually, Seattle, I think, will have a letdown spot. And if it happened in Phoenix, we saw – didn't we see the Lynx just go to Phoenix and lose? Like, so it really wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't
game winner.
Yeah, game winner from the right corner. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. But I can't fade the Storm either. Like it's just it would be a game where I sit on the sideline if I don't get there with Seattle. And that's the way I'm kind of looking at that one. Anything else you guys want to mention before we jump into the next one?
Brittany Griner first basket plus 290. You got to sprinkle on that every time. She's been killing these tips. Every first play is designed for Brittany Griner to get the ball. I think she's gonna win the tip. And I split. Usually I like to do 2 players, but since the odds are so low, it's like. So I'm just rolling with Brittany Griner first basket for a quarter unit for 290.
Okay, I like it. I couldn't talk you off. Jane, you got anything else you want to mention on this one?
A couple things. One, Diana Taurasi assist, that 2.5 assists. It's on BetMGM. It's one of my favorite books for props. So check it out there. You'll just probably have to SGP it and put it with something else. You probably put it with like Mercury plus 17.5, and it'll be like a minus 130 still. So if you want to play Taurasi assists, I will go there. And I saw one of the comments you just put up there. Somebody said without Jackie Young, like the video too. It's a lot of people in here watching, like the video.
Amen.
Appreciate it. But
this one right here, Young,
huh?
This one right here.
Yeah, without Young, Mercury would have dog walked Vegas. Lloyd is no Young. That's a classic case of a right and a wrong statement in the same sentence there. So yes, I agree with the first sentence. That's a fact. As far as the second sentence, Jewel Lloyd is no Jackie Young. Don't let them tour dates fool you, big dog. I don't know if you're new to the WNBA, but don't let it fool you. Jewel Lloyd is a monster. She called the gold mamba for a reason. Now, she has not shot the ball well, but Jewel Lloyd, most people would say she's better than Jackie Young, but I think everyone would say she at least is as good as Jackie Young. So I just want to say that.
Yeah, well, you want to mention, you want is that a mic drop, Flo, or you want to comment on this one too?
I don't even want to. I got nothing else said. That was so eloquently said.
Yeah.
That was definitely well said. Right now. Well said. Yeah,
I agree with
strong opinions in the comment section for sure.
Yeah.
All right, real quick before we move on, last thing I want to mention, I'm surprised my guy Jamie hasn't mentioned this in the chat, but that Seattle team total in the first quarter, it continues to go over, man. It's 20.5 right now, and we're expecting the Mercury to play fast and not want to get, try to play against the Seattle Storm defense. And it makes sense that they're going to get run up and down the floor, probably shoot a bunch of threes. The Storm have been really good, on interior defense with, Mercedes Russell and Ezzy down there and Necker down there as well. So if we expect the Phoenix Mercury to shoot a bunch of threes, Seattle should get a bunch of possessions in the first quarter. And I like their team total to go over 20.5 as well. Still haven't locked that one in yet, but that would probably be one of my favorite looks in this game as well. Wild comment in the chat though, but let's keep it pushing. I absolutely agree with Dream with everything that he just said. Jewel Lloyd can go out there. You might not have seen it yet, like you said. Dream said you might be new, but if she dropped 40, none of us would be surprised. None of us would be. If it was just a Jewel Lloyd game, none of us would be surprised on this panel. All right, last game we got today. We got the Sparks and the Dream. This one was 4.5 when I made the graphic this morning. I actually saw it go up. Well, it's moving to 5.5 now. Total coming down, open 159.5, down to 159. I see some 158.5s popping up as well. So for the Sparks, 1 day of rest, third straight road game. The Sparks are in the middle of a 7-game road trip. A crazy road trip for the Los Angeles Sparks in this spot. But this is road game number 3. Back-to-back losses, but they were very competitive against Minnesota. The Minnesota Lynx the other day. Super flat spot for Minnesota after coming off, 2 really, really good wins. The Sparks won the first quarter. They covered not on the for the spread. They won and covered the first quarter on the money line. Same thing for halftime, and then you see their offensive inefficiencies, some of their defensive inefficiencies kind of kick in the second half, and Minnesota ended up winning that game. So the Sparks have looked a little bit better, as of late. They're 4-9 on the season, 5-7-1 against the number, only 1-5 against the spread on the road, but straight up on the road, but they have covered 3 of the 6 spreads. Kurt Miller seems like, he's pushing the right button, especially with, some of their role players. I love what I'm seeing from Ari McDonald. Of course, we got, the list goes on. If Cameron Brink can stay out of foul trouble, she's great. I don't have to mention what, Dearica Hamby's been doing. She's been absolutely killing it. And then you got my girl, Lexi Brown, coming off the bench. The jumper is looking smooth. And I haven't mentioned Jackson. Like, it's a bunch of good players. Laser Clarinet, I haven't mentioned any of those. So you see the numbers for the Sparks for totality for the season. Their offense hasn't been great, but I think some of that was, chemistry, being young. Defensively, trying to play a little bit better. They did hold the Minnesota Lynx under their team total the other day, but 10th in defensive rating. And then we have the skies fall in Atlanta Dream. This team is, having 2 days rest in this spot, but back-to-back losses to arguably the worst 2 teams in the WNBA with the Indiana Fever and the Washington Mystics. 5-6 on the season now, 4-7 against the number. At home, they're only 2-4 straight up and 1-5 against the number. I'm not sure I could ever lay 5.5 points with a team that is 1-5 against the number and only 2-4 straight up. in their laying points. So it's really been, at the beginning of the season, it was the Atlanta Dreams defense. It was the Atlanta Dreams offense. Defensively, they have been, pretty good. And defensively, they're still pretty good. But their offense has really, really struggled at the beginning of the season. The last couple games we've seen from the Dream, it's been their offense and their defense. They went to Indiana and got lit up in the first quarter, lit up in the first half. This is probably the worst team that we've seen in the last 2 or 3 games. The sky's really falling over there for Tanisha Wright. Their offense looks like it's a shell of itself, even with Ryan Howard out there, even with, offensively talented player like Tina Charles. So we'll go Dream first, and then we'll kick it to Flo. Dream, talk to me about Sparks and Dream. What do you think happens here? And I got to mention this as well. These two teams did play earlier this season. Atlanta went into LA and did get a win. We were on Atlanta in that spot. Really just wanted to fade the Sparks. Didn't really see anything that I liked from them. So LA did win that game 92-81. They were laying 4 points as road favorites, and that total did go over to 162. What do you think happens here, Dream?
Oh man, I took this line from you, and I'll be telling the Dreamers on my channel. I took your line. Wait till the last possible moment and bet the Sparks. Sparks. I love the Sparks, man. I came on here last week or 2 weeks ago, and they was a double-digit favorite to somebody. I think it was the Aces. And I was like, shit, I won't be surprised if they win the game. And
you did. That was last Sunday.
Yeah. Okay. I thought it was, all the shows and stuff. I'll be forgetting, but I just like this Sparks team. I'm not the biggest fan of their coach, but I've just loved this team all year. I think they got a great mix of vets and youth. And at least they play for each other. I don't think the Dream like each other. I think it's something going on with Tina Charles and Ryan Howard or something. Because it's like Ryan Howard finally is getting back. She was 0 of 12 from 3 at one point, 1 of 15 of her last 15 threes. Now her last 3 games, she's hit three threes or more, or at least 2 threes or more in her last 3. She's also coming off that amazing game where she shot 6 of 9 from 3 and had 25 or 26 against the Fever. But in those games, Tina Charles not doing nothing. So it's like they can't get them both on the same accord. Either one's hooping and the other isn't. So with that being said, for an official play on this game, I did a 2-legger on BetMGM. I did the I did the Sparks team total over 72.5, and I put that with the Sparks plus 8.5. Pretty juiced to minus 135. Since the line has moved against me, you'll probably be able to get this now at a minus 125 or a minus 130. But yeah, it's really simple. The Sparks, they've lost to Seattle and Minnesota their last 2, like you mentioned, 2 really good teams. In 2 games they were actually in. They won the first quarter against Seattle, or was tied against Seattle, all right? Then they beat Las Vegas and Dallas. So they beat 2 teams that you could say are better or just as good as the Dream, and they lost by a bunch to Minnesota 4 games ago, but at least they played better against Minnesota, almost beat them last time they played them. So you're getting a team that, in my opinion, is playing their best ball of the season. They've also scored 76, 79, 96, and 81 their last 4 games, so they're scoring over this number. In Atlanta, their last 3 games, they've given up 81, 87, and 80 to the likes of the Mystics. And the Fever can score, but they generally play with pace. That's why they can score. So Atlanta can give it up. I think that the Sparks win the game outright, to be honest. But just a safe way to play it for me was the team total of the Sparks over 72.5, and the Sparks plus 8.5, minus 135 on BetMGM. Another quick point. This has kind of gotten away from me, so I can't give this out. But if you guys don't mind laying juice, you could lay it. But Derek Hamby has had 15 points and 10 rebounds in every game this season except for 2. That's currently sitting at minus 145. So do with that information as you please.
Okay. A lot of great looks in there from Dream. And I agree, man. I'm going to kick it to Flo and before I tell you guys how I'm thinking about this one. But I think Dream said a lot of great stuff. Flo, how you think this one go? Would you catch that falling knife with the Atlanta Dream? Or would you be looking towards the Sparks on the opposite side of the country right here? In a potential, get right spot after losing 2 games, but I think they've covered both. Did they lose 2 straight?
They played the Storm. I think the Storm
that's what it was.
Yeah, but for like 3 quarters, it was like a
pretty competitive game. Yeah.
Storm pulled away.
What you thinking about this one, bro?
The only argument you have for the Dream in this spot is that it's a Sunday and it's at home, because this Dream team is just like a disgrace. They got smoked at home to the Mystics. Let's start there. Then in a bounce back spot on the road against the worst defense in the league, no show and get slapped by the Fever. And then they have this whole thing going on. It worked to the benefit of the offense, but now Cheyenne is coming. I don't know if it was a 1-game thing. They may do it again, but now Cheyenne's coming off the bench because she's supposed to be like instant offense. That's the one thing that would scare me a little bit, because the Sparks backup bigs are kind of suspect, and Cheyenne could feast on them if she gets extended usage, because they have no identity. Do they want to be? Last year they were the #1 pace team in the W. Now they're the slowest pace team. They run it through Tina Charles. You know, Tina Charles is the second most talented player on their offense. You could argue third. Ryan Howard's more talented than her. Ryan Howard should have the most shots in usage. Tanisha Wright doesn't know what the heck she's doing. She's going to get fired. I'm not calling for anyone's job, but she's going to get up out of there, because this team.
I think so too.
Yeah, this team needs Jordan Canada back, because I feel like Jordan Canada will be able to save the day and like just be the maestro out there and get people the ball in the spot that they need to. Like, okay, I know the coach called this play, but we ain't doing that because this coach is lost. But in this spot, yeah, to back up everything Dream said, I can see the Sparks winning outright. 5.5 is kind of a crazy number to me. I mean, the only argument is maybe like West Coast team on the East Coast, 3:00 tip, home game, bounce back spot for the Dream.
Low. One quick thing. Also, this isn't Atlanta, so maybe them girls was out partying last night. That too.
Yeah, hey, the best of the I don't understand, like, how does anyone put their listen? You want to stay off the sides? I respect that. How do you put your hard-earned money on the Dream after what we've seen for like a month now? You don't know, is Alicia Gray gonna get the ball? Is Ryan Howard gonna be? I think it was WNBA Soul Bets on Twitter who said they've turned Ryan Howard into Sam Hauser and told her to just stand in the corner and wait for 3-quarters. The Dream are such a disgrace.
Which is crazy.
But I love the Sparks team. Off the bench, like, they come with Erin McDonald, who's got some punch, because this is a bad defense. I don't know if we have a line for Erin McDonald's points. I know we did last game. I've got to go check that. But she only say I had like 15 again off the bench. She's been instant offense. With this Dream team, you could just beat them on the fast break, push the tempo, and especially what they've got going on with the athletes with Rakia and Hamby and Brink and McDonald, and you mentioned Lexi Brown. Like, I really like the mojo that this Sparks team has, and the fact that they have players that know their role. Kurt Miller talked about the fact that Lexi was kind of like out of place playing point guard earlier in the year. Now she's like shooting guard who gets buckets, pulls threes. Hamby's like less ball dominant, but she can get offense, crash the glass, play good defense. Brink lately playing good defense. So it's one of those things where I like the Sparks in the spot. Will I take the spread? No, but I wouldn't blame you if you wanted to like sprinkle on their money line or put their money line in some kind of long shot. When I looked at this slate today, the thing that like jumped out to me was like, man, this just feels like a day for the dogs. Like, kind of like the Mercury, kind of like the Sky, and I kind of like the Sparks. And a big part of me wants to just think, well, just take all three on the money line and throw like $5 on it and see what happens there. But that's my thoughts of this game. I don't respect the Dream. I don't respect their offense. I don't respect their head coach. I don't think they know what the heck they're doing because they have no identity. And I think the players are frustrated because I know I'm frustrated watching them. Before the season, I took their over 16.5. And they're going to cover that over 16.5, but you're going to hate every second of it while you go to cover the over 16.5 because this team's a disgrace and they're underperforming. So that's my thoughts on the Atlanta Dream.
Yeah, I mean, this team had a very, very high ceiling, man, and we have not seen anything that we thought. And could it be what Flo said? Could it just be Jordan Canada that hasn't been suited up for this team yet, coming over from the Sparks, right? Maybe that's it. But yeah, I know I can't lay points with the Atlanta Dream. I did it I think I might have been laying 1.5 or a point in the last game. And like you said, that was against the Indiana Fever. Granted, it was on the road, but the Dream have actually been better on the road than they've been at home. They were 3-1 at home, and they've been worse at worse at home, just 2-4 straight up. The Sparks did let me down. If you guys remember 2 weeks ago, we took them against the Phoenix Mercury before Brittany Griner came back. And they did let me down in that game, but I'm only looking towards the Sparks in this game. The more the line goes, I mean, if it touches 6, it'll probably be a bigger bet than if it just stays at 5.5. But I don't agree with the way that the line is moving in this game. I think even if the Dream do win, I'm not betting on them to win by 3 possessions. They showed me nothing, and that's just really as simple as that. They showed me nothing to show that they can win a game by by multiple possessions, let alone 3 possessions if it gets to 6. So I do like the Sparks in this game if I had to play it. The Sparks are a little wishy-washy. They turn the ball over at the highest rate. Atlanta doesn't generate a lot of turnovers, though. They're about middle of the pack. Sparks also are by far the better rebounding team in this game. They've been the better offensive and defensive team over the last 5 games. They almost, like I said, they almost got a really big win against the Minnesota Lynx. Played the Aces really, really well. Beat them a couple games ago as well. So Sparks, only way I'm looking. Meanwhile, Atlanta, like I said, lost back-to-back games, arguably to the worst 2 teams in the W. So Sparks plus the points in this game if I had to bet it. Any other player props you guys looking at for this one?
Yeah, I just saw it. Oh, Dream, if you want to go, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I'll go after you. Go ahead, Flo.
Yeah. So I'm a big believer. I'm the narrative guy. I don't know why I didn't see this one coming when it happened, when the Dream played the Wings at home, and I saw Monique Billings, who was unceremoniously let go and went crazy in Atlanta. And Aaron McDonald's back in Atlanta. I checked, and there's a line of 10 points, and according to my app here, it's plus 125 for 10 points. But Aaron McDonald's been cooking over 10 points in the last 3 games, and this Dream defense is terrible. So I 100% will be taking Aaron McDonald. Hold on, let me check if they give alternate.
Where's that
at? That's at Bet Rivers. Like, if there was a way to take somewhere like an Aaron McDonald 15 in the win, which would pay really nice, I would take that too. So Aaron McDonald's one I would look at. I looked at Cheyenne Parker because I do think with Giroux off the bench, who's like a rookie, she could like take advantage of her. Like, Cheyenne's crafty enough. But with this coach, and it's like, Tina Charles burned me. I had like a long shot with her double-double, and she played like 60 minutes. I want no part of like Dream, front court players for the rest of this. I'm good. Pass. But Aaron McDonald's where I'm looking here.
Okay. Aaron McDonald. I like that.
Yeah, I love that. Couple things. Rickea Jackson, she's got 15 points 2 of her last 3 games. She's been balling out. So I did a blunt money bet with her to have 12, Tina Charles to get 12, and the game to go under 170. That's a plus 625. And also couldn't talk you off of Tina Charles to be the top point scorer for plus 1,000. Maybe she bounces back. Maybe she plays 15 minutes. But I think she's the top scorer of the game more than I think she has a better than 10% chance of being the top scorer of tonight's game. So, plus 1,000 for Tina Charles to be the top scorer. I think she also had 25 and 12 first game of the season when they played 20 and 12, something like that.
She killed Cameron Brink. I remember Cameron Brink coming out talking about it after the game, and I think Cameron Brink
she hates him.
Yeah, she typically kills him too. And I think Cameron Brink came out the game and said something along the lines of, She came up to her during the middle of the game and said, "It's okay, baby. This is just how it's gonna be today." Yeah, I'm a cookie. That's what I do to y'all. I won the MVP when you was in 6th grade, So I think it's some truth to that for sure, man. I just kind of, man, this game really, really stinks because I think the Dream are better than they've showed, but I'm right there with Flo, like you said, man. I can't. If you fool me once, shame on you. You fool me twice, I look like an idiot when I want to bet you. So want to bet on you. And we've seen back-to-back really bad performances versus the Indiana Fever and the Washington Mystics. So I can't go near the Dream, even though I don't really, like taking the Sparks on the road. I would prefer them be getting a big number, but the books are smart. Like, you can't lay a big number with the Dream after losing to the Mystics and the Fever back-to-back games. So yeah, this one is a difficult one for me. But if I'm playing, like I said, I'm only taking the points with the Sparks, thinking that they keep it close. And I'm probably just going to stay off the total as well because the Sparks offense can, go through droughts. The Dream, we've seen them play really good defensive games. They played a really good defensive game against the Liberty. Well, okay game against the Liberty. They played a really good defensive game versus the Aces. And they still got all the same players. But then we also see them go get lit up against the Indiana Fever, which is not the greatest offense either. So I'm probably going to stay off the total in this one. I really don't even have a lean. I think 159 is cool. Maybe I'll play something live and send that out to the members if it's something that I like. And yeah, let's get into a quick recap so I can let the fellas get up off here. I appreciate them for joining me, and taking their time out of their day. So for myself,
we all got together, make it happen.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I appreciate you guys for doing so. I'm going to update this as I go through. So the first game we talked about was the standalone game, the Fever and the Fever and who the Fever playing? The Sky. Fever in the Sky. So if I'm playing the Fever in the Sky game, just to kind of give you guys what I'm looking at, I am playing the Sky, Chicago first quarter. probably on the money line. Like I said, you can get a plus 100 on Caesars. I think that, this is more narrative based. They've lost the first quarter a few times in a row now. And like I said, Coach Teresa Weatherspoon said 40 minutes was the message to the team. So like Chicago early, first quarter. Also, outside of the Fever winning that last game, we know that they've been really, really bad in the first quarter. This has been the worst first quarter team in the WNBA. So I'm probably going to get there. Haven't played that quite yet. And I will change this to red because you guys, if you've been watching for a while, you know that the plays that are in red or plays that are in black are the ones that I've made so far. All right, so moving on. I really like Dream's blunt money bet on Kennedy Carter to get 20 points as well. I'm probably going to sprinkle on that also. But I like Chicago in the first quarter. Next game up, we got the what was the second game that we talked about? We talked about the Storm and the Mercury. So I touched on this just a tad bit already, but that team total over in the first quarter for just kind of like if it ain't broke, don't fix it type play there. I know what I did. Hold on. All right, here we go. All right. So Seattle, first quarter team total. The number is 20.5. If you can go over there. Over 20.5 first quarter team total over for myself here. If I had to play anything, and then I would. I still think I'm not. Well, I know I'm not fading the Storm. So if I had to play the game, I'd be taking Seattle minus the 3. But haven't put that in yet either. But like I said, I do want to give some respect to the Phoenix Mercury today. I think that they can keep it close. I just like Seattle because they play really good defense. And then the last game, like I said, man, pretty easy. LA Sparks plus 5.5. The only way I'm looking to play that game. Probably would stay off of their team total because honestly, I guess I would go over because their defense hasn't been great on the road. So I guess if I had to play it, I would look towards their defense to not play as well. Dream, talk to me. You up next. What we liking? You don't have to give out 4 plays like myself. Just top 3 or whatever it is that you like. You want to put on the card for today.
Yeah. Angel Reese double. Gotta love that. Let's see.
Angel Reese double. All right, let me go. Yeah, we talked about that one in detail. Angel Reese double.
Yeah.
Okay.
I took I did a 2-legger with the Sparks over 72.5 team total, and I put that with the plus 8.5. I got it at minus 135, but I'm sure it's a better price now.
Okay.
And Jewel Lloyd rebounds plus assists. Couldn't talk you off her PRA, but Jewel Lloyd over 8.5 rebounds plus assists. Mercury give up.
Oh, they got the line that low? I don't think I heard you say the number, Dream. That's super low. Okay.
Yeah. They give up the most rebounds and assists to guards. So shoot.
And she be boarding. Okay. Yeah,
she definitely be boarding. And she had 6 assists last time they played, I believe.
So, Love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Like it. Okay. Yeah, that's more than enough. If you want the rest, I'll give the guys a chance to shout out where you can get all their plays at in a second. But yeah, I think Dream did more than enough. Flo, talk to me. What we liking for today?
Got a couple things. I like Camila Cardoso to go up against Aaliyah Boston, so put me down for that 11.5 points. Off on MGM because I just think that like one of these games she's just gonna have like one of these Tierra McCown ridiculous 15-10 games. So they gave us a little
be the day against the Fever. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, if there's anyone who's gonna give it up, it'd be the Fever.
Why not?
They make dreams come true. So I threw a little, 0.2 on her 15 and 10 and used my little boost on MGM. I got a little 864 on that.
Okay.
I like to root against Christy Sides because she's a terrible coach. Also, I'm right there with Dream on Jewel Lloyd over 8.5 rebounds plus assists. Really like that one too. And for a sprinkle, not full unit, but for a sprinkle, I like some first baskets today. Like I was like looking at the card, like
no, you said BG.
Yeah, BG. That one is at. I'll give you that 1 second. 270 on FanDuel.
Okay.
The thing with the WNBA that I noticed, which is different than NBA. NBA is usually like if you can nail who's gonna get the tip, you're probably like within range of getting the first basket. WNBA, like they'll get the first tip and just like take the ball, throw it out of bounds. Like you're like, oh, thanks, we capped the tip right, it didn't even matter, But there's like a clear mismatch on all these tips. Like if Cheyenne doesn't jump, now we're gonna get into like the nerd aspect part of first baskets here. If Cheyenne is off the bench again, they're not gonna jump Tina Charles. She's old. They're gonna jump Nia Coffey versus Cam Brink, which is a giant mismatch. Like Cam Brink should like just be able to grab the ball. She's 4 inches higher with ups. I watched Nia Coffey jump. I'm like, man, she can't jump. So for first basket, I did quarter unit on Hamby 490 and Rakia plus 1,000. They run a lot of plays for Rakia. With the Sparks, it's always tricky because like one of like Laisha Clarendon will decide I want to be a hero and not even run the play. So I like that one too. And in that Sky Fever game, I'm gonna go back to Cardoso and Reese. Like I called both their first basket last game, but like once again, I'm like one of these guards is gonna be a ball hog, maybe or Evans or Ruin, and that's what happened. Cardoso was wide open on the pick and roll. They run the same play every time when they get the ball first. Pick and roll with Cardoso. She rolls and she's open every time. They just don't give her the ball. So for 950, I got to run it back. I'm hoping they give it to her. And for a long shot, I just sprinkled on. I did round robin by twos. I did Cardoso at 950. This is on FanDuel, by the way. Cardoso 950, Rakia 1,000, Copper 750. Because like those are all the secondary options on first baskets. And I know it's the WNBA. Like you'll just have a day where like, yeah, Asia Wilson didn't get the first basket. Jackie Young didn't get it. Hamby didn't get the first basket. So I'm like, okay, like maybe this is one of those days where like all the second options get the first basket again instead of like the lead dog with like Griner's obviously the obvious one and Hamby's an obvious one. So yeah, just like some first baskets, Cardoso, and I'll probably stay away from Taurasi's assists because the thing that scares me with that game is like the Storm can just turn up on defense for no reason and just decide like, yo, we can just go clamp up for an entire half. So that scares me. So I'll just stay away on that one.
They absolutely kid. Okay, no, I like it. Yeah, and I like everything you guys said, and this is why I wanted to bring Dream and Flow on. So hopefully the viewers, people always sending me comments. Chris, you got player props? Sometimes, most of the times, no. But I got some guys that do, and they do it at a very, very high clip, and they making a lot of money out here. So I wanted to make sure you guys, just kind of bring some other people in. So real quick, a couple comments I want to jump into before we get up out of here. This one got me. Said Atlanta playing like Charles Barkley and Muggsy Bogues from the Space Jam when homegirl was yelling at them. So yeah, when they got their juice zapped out by the Monstars, man, I absolutely wanted to mention that because that's how they are playing. Z's nuts. I saw somebody else mention this as well. Said, yo, if you like the Storm team total over in the first quarter, how about the first half 41.5? So if you've been watching the show, this is when the Storm typically their offense numbers in the first quarter versus the second quarter are drastically different for whatever reason. I think they got one of the best starting fives in the WNBA, but when their bench comes in, it has not looked as productive in the second quarter, which is why I've been playing the first quarter because their first quarter net rating, offensive rating, defensive metrics are all better than the second quarter. So I don't like the second. That's why I don't include the first half if I've been playing the Storm team total over. They don't get twisted. They can go over to 41.5. But I feel more comfortable taking it in the first quarter team total versus the full game. All right, so that we went through a lot, man. The show about an hour long. If you joined late, definitely go back, watch this, the game and the cap that you want to hear about the most. But I want to shout out my guys, and after I do the resources real quick, and just let them plug where you can find their plays, where you can follow them again, and we'll get ready to get up out of here, man. So. Moneyballer.com. I always talk about the website. It's a one-stop shop where you can find really anything you need for the WNBA, the MLB, and the NBA. Stats, trends, situational stuff, all of that good stuff is there. And I always got to shout out OzJam. 25% off your first month if you use code CBC when you sign up. Definitely check them out. The link for that is in the description. The link for all my official plays when I make them is in the description as well. I have not placed a bet. If you can go through all 14 of my sports books right now on my phone, you see that I don't have anything placed. But I will be sending out the ones that I do lock in. I think we have a beautiful 3-game slate, as the fellas mentioned already. And now I just want to take a chance and Dream, you can go first, but tell the people where they can find your work at again, how they can get all your plays, your YouTube, your Twitter, your MySpace, whatever you got. Shout it out.
Yeah, man. Follow me on Twitter, Mr. Dreamy1, the number 1. Sub to my YouTube channel, Blunt Money Bets. And if you want every play that I give out, you can join the Discord I'm in, the Cap Collective Discord. The link is in the description of my it's in the bio of my Twitter page. So yeah, that's how you can find me. Appreciate you having me on, my guy.
Absolutely, Dream. Flo, talk to him.
Hey, love doing this. By the way, real quick, I just want to mention just in the comments, I'm only hard on the Atlanta Dream because I love the Atlanta Dream. So the love is tough because I want better for y'all because y'all need to be better because y'all deserve better. Out of the Atlanta Dream playing like mid, they should be a good team. But you can find me on Twitter at Stephen like her, Stephen Florival, FLORIVAL, Flow Rival, and on YouTube at Sports with Flo. We going up in about like 30 minutes breaking down the slate. I give my picks on Twitter, and yeah, hopefully we can get some first basket magic today, man. We got 3 nice games, man. I just really hope that they give us that Aaron McDonald line. I saw it was on Bet Rivers on the app, but like it's nowhere to be found. So watch her go off for 15 today. So, but appreciate you for having me, man. Love the vibes in here.
Absolutely, Flo. Love the vibes, man. I'm glad we could kind of come together, man. Hopefully we can do this a little bit more frequently on the weekends. Yeah, and we still got what, 4 hours and some change before the Sparks games tips off. So hopefully we can get the Aaron McDonald lines for sure, especially with her being back in Atlanta. Yeah, so follow the guys, man. Like they said, if y'all send me information, I'll plug it into this video as well, so it'll be easier to find the links as well. Like I mentioned, man, the link for all my official plays can be found in the description as well. If you still listening, do me a favor, hit that like button, especially if you found the show helpful, especially on a Father's Day, man. I'm about to go get a bunch of vegan food and chill with the fam for the rest of the day, but I still had to do a show, man. So like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Bet responsibly as always. Best of luck on all your action. Enjoy Sunday, man. Hopefully you get a chance to spend it with your father, your family, somebody that you love. And hopefully you get a chance to watch some of these WNBA games as well, because it's a lot of talent out there. So best of luck. Enjoy your Sunday. We'll catch you guys in the next one, man. We out.